Hey y'all, Mr. Chalaki here, darlings. Now listen, I wanted to discuss um, the possible return of a housewife, a stellar housewife, a master housewife, a just an amazing reality television star, the Candiace Dillard Bassett. Oh yes, Potomac. Let's get into it. So, Candiace recently, maybe like a couple of weeks ago now, but she posted a photo of her at NBC Universal. Y'all know that is the mass media production company that holds the Housewives shows and just they run a lot of stuff, right? It's a lot going on over there. It's conglomerate, and they do their thing, right? So anyway, there's some rich people work over there, child. So we all know that that is where the Housewives is filmed. It's the company that holds the whole thing, child. I don't know, child, how to say it. Google schmoogle. So anyway, there's many speculations about Candiace possibly coming back to Potomac. So I just want to give like some thoughts on it. I am a fan of Candiace. I haven't always agreed with what she's done or what she's said, but overall, I am a fan of Candiace. And she definitely is a big part of Real Housewives of Potomac. She's quick-witted. She's funny. She reads down. She's a housewife. She's pretty. She has all the things, right? And she's definitely a heavy hitter on Potomac. Definitely, as far as Potomac, she's definitely in the top 3 Potomac housewives of all time so far. And it's only been, 9-10 seasons of Potomac so far? Now, there's a big slot for another heavy hitter to come on Potomac because Karen is, incarcerated. There hasn't been any updates on Karen lately, so I wonder how, she's doing and stuff. Hopefully she's all right. Karen mentioned in her goodbye video at the reunion, she mentioned Candiace was one of those people that reached out to her and stuff. And so, now thinking about it, that was kind of her way of introducing Candiace back into the group. Now, those that watch Potomac, we all know that Candiace chose to not film this past season at Potomac. So she left the show, and apparently Robin was let go from the show, but Candiace chose to leave. So it's possible that Candiace could come back. That Robin could come back. Some people want that. I personally don't see what else Robin could give us, but hey, everybody got their fans, so I'm not going to, argue with that. But Candiace also had a big riff with Giselle, and what Giselle did and talking about Chris and the whole thing. A lot of people, Candiace is one of those people that you either like or you don't. She's received a lot of hate from the show. A lot of people, just reading some of the comments and stuff on Twitter, a lot of people was ecstatic that Candiace was not there. They said that she brings down the show and she brings a darkness to the show, and the show was too serious and whoop to whoop. It's very interesting when you think about reality television. People don't actually want reality all the time. At the end of the day, people want to be entertained. And some things are just too real for reality television, which is unfortunate. One of those things is real life, is colorism, all those things, favoritism, right? All the isms and double standards. And all those things kind of hit people a little bit too hard. And so they tend to stay away from that. But, if we're talking about real life, let's talk about real life. And I think that Candiace brought an element of real life to the show. And some people was just not here for that and willing to hear that. And, you know, we all know that a lot of things played into that. You know, being a strong Black woman, it comes with certain people that have a problem with that at the end of the day. One reason I've always been on Candiace's side is because Candiace has never started anything with anybody. They always came at her first. And then when she come back at them harder, it's a problem. You know, and that stems into all the isms and all the things, right? All the real life things, you know, that people tried to make it seem like that wasn't it. But even still, you know, not even going to go back into all that. Do you think that if Candiace or Wendy, I've said this many times before, but do you think that if Candiace and Wendy called Giselle's daughters what Mia called Giselle's daughters, do you think that Giselle would even want to be in the same room, have a conversation, etc.? She wouldn't. She wouldn't. Look how Wendy got her told one time, rightfully so, about what she was making up rumors and, you know, about Eddie and stuff, her and Robin. Giselle just now forgave her last season, and I still think that's a surface level friendship. I don't think it's real. Giselle still don't like Wendy. Like, please. Please, please, please. And who knows all the real life, honest conversations that have been happening. Because look how Karen flipped on Wendy last minute for no reason. For no reason. Look how she flipped on. So there's all kind of like real villains on the show. You know, people portray all kinds of things. You know, so that's why I say a lot of times people don't want the real. People don't want the real in reality stars sometimes. You know, it just depends on who's the messenger. People take things differently depending on who it's coming from. You know, so, hey, well, we gonna get into all that Potomac mess. But I just wanted to know y'all opinion pretty much about Candiace possibly returning back to Potomac. I just hope she's in a better headspace. You know, she's had her baby. She wanted peace. That's why she chose to, you know, not film and stuff, and good for her. So I just hope that she's mentally ready for all the stuff. You know, Wendy and Giselle had a sit-down conversation. If Candiace comes back, Candiace and Giselle, I guess, have to have a sit-down conversation, but I don't really know where you can come back from there. I don't see them ever being friends ever again. If anything, they're just going to have to coexist. And it'd be interesting to see Giselle's newfound love of Dr. Wendy. We will now see how she truly feels about Wendy if Candiace come back on, because Candiace and Wendy are good friends. So it'd be interesting to see who, maybe Wendy will flip. Maybe Wendy will be the one trying to push Candiace to talk to Giselle. Who knows how this gonna go? Child, who knows? It's just gonna be crazy. But Candiace is strong, and Candiace is not new to this. And I think that Candiace's headspace is just completely different since becoming a mom. So I think if she comes back to the show, she's gonna be good. If it was up to me, I would tell Robin to stay where she is. But they could possibly bring Robin back. And once, like I said, I don't know what for, to talk about what, to do what. Just dull is all, just the definition of dull is Robin, in my opinion. Bless her heart. Beautiful woman, but it's just sandpaper. Kiana, she did a live, and basically she was saying she was coming back. A lot of people was just like, for what? I like Kiana, and I think that every housewife deserves a second season. I still think that Nneka deserves a second season. Nneka's actually pregnant. She might have had the baby now. So it would be nice to see her now. You know, it'd be nice to maybe bring Nneka back as a friend to the show. But I like Kiana, and you know, she was a last minute choice, and it was a lot of things contributing why Kiana did not give Kiana, so to speak, on her first season as official housewife. One thing was Greg, but her and Greg are no longer together, thank the Lord. I think he's a good guy, but they're just not compatible. I think that he wants a particular type of wife, and I don't think that Kiana is that person. But he'll, you know, end up with whoever he's supposed to be with, I guess. So I wish everybody the best. But I think Kiana's going to be more herself, and she's going to be more, I think she's going to give it next season. I really do. I really do. There has been no official cast member photos or release on who's the official cast yet. I don't know. I'm in love with Stacey. I think she's hilarious and wacky and quirky and ditzy and calculated. I love Jazzy. Hopefully they give Jazzy another chance. I really like her. If I see Mia next season, fine. But if not, even better. Same thing with Jacqueline. I don't really care to see Charisse. I don't know what mental state, what's her name? Katie is in. But it would be nice to see Katie, but Katie's probably not coming. If I had a choice on the next season of Real Housewives of Potomac, who would be the housewives? If it was up to me, the housewives would be Wendy, Candiace, Jazzy, Kiana, Katie, and maybe somebody new. But realistically, Giselle ain't going nowhere. Giselle was cool last season. She got some laughs out of me. I don't completely dislike Giselle or nothing like that. I think Giselle is good for the show. Same way I feel about Evelyn. They're not my favorite people, but they're good for the show. I see why they're there. And at the end of the day, they love Giselle over there, and she ain't going nowhere. So, realistically, the cast is probably going to be Mia, definitely Giselle, definitely that no singing Ashley, Wendy, who else? Kiana, and probably Candiace. Probably, and friend to the show, if Mia's there, probably Jacqueline. Question mark about Jazzy. And maybe somebody new. I don't know. But y'all tell me in the comment section about everything that I talked about. How y'all feel about Candiace's return. How y'all feel about Kiana probably coming back. And the future of Potomac. Since the Grand Dame is locked up. And they won't let her out. With this said, Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at @IsKingsway on Instagram and Twitter, at @IsKingsway89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. I tried to do like a little run. It didn't work. Stay black, stay tuned. Bye.